Welcome on in. Let's see. Just doing a couple of pre-checks first before we get into today's topic. So let's do a refresh. It should be public. Let's see. One moment, folks. How are we all doing today? Okay. Just doing all the usual pre-checks. Let's see. Okay. Gotta do the thing and the other thing. I'm sure I set this to public. Now, give me a second, folks. One moment. Okay. Yes, so that looks good. Right. Let's see, change that to live and checking the audio. Might get a bit of echo here. Yep, there we go. Okay, we are good, I think. Why isn't my stream showing up on my profile though? Let's try this again. Go to the home page, maybe? Weird. Okay. Shouldn't be too much longer, folks. Shouldn't be too much longer. Oh, there we go. So it's on the home page. I see it now. Today's topic is an IRL debrief on the DJi Pocket 3 and Action 4. If you're here for my last live on Friday, I borrowed the DJi Pocket 3 from my flatmate who got it as a work gift, and I've been able to set up for them, got most of the settings in pretty good for them to use it for their own content. And yeah, we had a good 2, almost 3 hours of live stream with the Pocket 3 on Friday. We also had the Action 4 in the bag, and for a while there, towards the end of the stream, we switched back and forth between the two cameras. So I thought I'd share my thoughts. That's what these IRL debriefs are all about. Sharing the knowledge, sharing what we learned, what could be better, that sort of thing. Okay, right. I think we're good. Good on all fronts. So if you did want to pop into chat, or maybe you're watching this later on, please do so. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Maybe something you noticed that I didn't notice during that Friday live. I suppose it'll be helpful if you could check it out. I don't have any chapters on the live, but I think if you skip around, you'll have a pretty good idea of what the footage is like with the Pocket 3. And I did mention throughout the live that setting up was very familiar, very similar to setting up the Action 4. So if you've already set up a DJi camera with the Mobin app, then everything's basically the same with a few changes here and there. Now, in terms of the IRL live stream experience, there are definitely some noticeable differences between the Pocket 3 footage that I was looking at on Friday and what I'm used to and have been using with the Action 4 over the last good maybe 6-8 months plus. So one thing for sure is I think the quality looks a lot nicer with the Pocket 3. It also gives you that blue background effect with the variable aperture on the camera. But also notice that there is always a blue background. Unless you point the camera away from you, that background is always blurry. And I quite like the look of the Action 4. By default, everything's pretty much in focus. You can see what's happening in the background. But one of the nice things you can do with the Pocket 3 is you can hold something up to the camera and it'll focus on that. Whereas the Action 4, which I have here, it doesn't have any kind of focusing ability at all. So if you hold something straight up to the Pocket 3, Action 4, sorry, then it won't refocus on whatever you're doing. Whereas the Pocket 3, it's got a product showcase mode, which I think needs some refining because it seems to be battling with the phase tracking. But yeah, you can hold something up to it and it'll focus on that, and then when you move that subject away, then it'll actually refocus on yourself. So that's one real nice thing that you've got with the Pocket 3. Let's see. I haven't actually written a script or anything for this. I thought we'd just chat about it and then share our thoughts. But overall, I really like this little bad boy. It is very cute. Also, I feel like, and I mentioned it during that live, not as sturdy as I would like. So whereas with this, I can just throw this in my bag as is, don't need a case or anything, and I feel pretty okay about it. You know, because this is a really good bad boy, this fellow, the Action 4. Whereas with this one, when I put it in a little carry case, I have to carefully put it in. I have to put it in like this and make sure everything's okay. I'm not going to do anything, but you really have to be careful with it since it's not mine. But yeah, and then once it's away, then you got to put this carefully in my bag. It only just fits in that little pocket that I've got for my Peak Designs thing bag. So when that's in there, my bag is full. It's chocker. Whereas when I had this, there's plenty of room in my bag. So that's another benefit pro towards the Action 4. Well, let's see. But yeah, footage-wise, definitely really nice. I like the look out of the Pocket 3 a lot. I just wish maybe when it's you and the background, it would do everything more or less in focus. And if you showed something straight up to the camera, then it would focus in on that. And I believe that's something that the Action 6 has, based on some of the footage that I've seen. Now, I've got someone in the chat, Bear the Conqueror. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the chat. Yeah, we are live today. I am using my my phone, very back to basics sort of setup today. Nothing fancy like what I usually do on my Friday streams. These Monday ones, when I do them, they're pretty low-key, behind the scenes, just a bit of a chat, that kind of thing. So real easy setup if you got really good internet. So I wouldn't use this one if I was out and about. I'm using the YouTube app to go live, and it's got some features, you know, just enough to do that. Hello, how do I say your name? Isama Pusa. Let me know how I should pronounce your name. I'm kind of just butcher it like I probably just did. But hello, hi everyone, welcome to the live. We're doing a debrief of the Pocket 3 and our thoughts on it after using the Action for good. 8+ months. So I'm still very happy with this purchase. But there were some visual differences I noticed, which we will, I suppose I'll cover that now, or why not? So one thing that I have been noticing using the Action 4 is the footage can sometimes go really flat. Now, it's weird. I don't know what causes it. Maybe it's certain lighting conditions where I found it to be around dusk, or you know, when it's starting to get darker, the light around then appears to make things look really like flat colors. I don't know what it is, but it's something that I noticed happen on the Friday stream with the Action 4 and a couple other times around, you know, golden hour, that sort of time. Whereas at the same time that I had the Pocket 3, it wasn't doing that. Now, maybe it's because I had a slightly different angle, if I just repositioned it to where the Action 4s would get a similar look. But I believe this one is newer than the Action 4. So they probably made improvements going from, you know, older models to newer ones with the color science and how many bits they support, that sort of thing. So there's probably something there with the Pocket 3. Not a major one, but I've noticed it, and I know maybe one or two other people have noticed it as well, where the colors just started to look kind of cartoony. It's hard to describe, but you would know when you saw it. Yeah. So you start losing all of the, what's the word, like definition almost. But yeah, I noticed that in the footage from Friday's live, and it was only for a short period of time. And I guess in real high contrasty environments, that's where this excels. So there's a couple of areas with action for like low light, certain lighting conditions where it's a little bit, it's a little bit weak, not as good, but it's fine for the most part. Whereas with the gimbal in the Pocket 3, I haven't tested this in low light, but from what I've seen of other live streamers using this, it destroys the action by a mile. There is, of course, price differences. You could probably get maybe 2 or 3 of these for the same price as a Pocket 3, depending on the pricing, this sort of thing. And there have been quite a few good sales for the Action 4. Is one of the reasons why I jumped into using an action camera. Yeah, so the price-wise, this is still a king, and it is a great live stream camera if you're looking to get into using something like this. But yeah, still very happy with my Action 4. What else? What else could we talk about? Let's see. Oh, the zoom. So at one part during Friday's live, we were at a sort of outdoor concert. There was a really good band on, really enjoying the vibes, great music. And I realized, oh, wait, this does have a zoom. And I believe, depending on whatever mode you got in, 1080, 4K, etc., then the amount of zoom it changes. But optically, I believe this can do about 2 times optical zoom. And I kind of pushed it further than that. I think it let me do 4 times. And add that extra zoom, I guess it goes into digital, and it didn't look great. Look fine, look okay. It was better than nothing if you really needed to zoom. But that's something I guess you'd have to remember if you get one of these. Don't push that zoom too much. Or I wonder if there's a setting where you can turn off digital zoom, not only let you do optical. It's best. I'm thinking if they come out, when they come out with a Pocket 4, I don't think it's happening this month. I haven't seen any teasers or anything, and the DJi website doesn't have anything on there for a new product coming up. So there was that rumor that it would come out maybe in the next week or 2, but I don't know. Guess we'll still see. I'm monitoring the site, checking it out every other day, that kind of thing. But yeah, maybe the Pocket 4 will improve the zoom. Well, it would be great if they could get to like a 10 times zoom. So this has a default lens. I believe they said it was 20mm, and it looked fine with and without the wide angle on there. But the wide angle is so small and tiny, it just pops on there. Just leave it on there. But yeah, if they could add 10 times zoom, that'd be a 200mm equivalent with this little guy on the Pocket 4 or 5 or whatever model they add that to. So I was thinking, yeah, that's something they can improve on. All right, back to this one though. What else? I think the way that spins around, I'm not a real big fan of that. I think it actually looked better if I just spun around myself. So if I needed to show something behind, just turn the camera around, that movement would be smoother than what it does, because it's a bit jolty and it sort of goes bam, bam, bam like this. Whereas I think it could be a lot smoother. That's something that they could roll out with an update. I would like them to do that. Have it sort of ramp up and slow down. I think it does it, but it's a little aggressive. Maybe they got a mode or speed option in there so that when it does sort of spin from back to front, front to back, it's a little smoother, more cinematic rather than what it does. Let's see. But those are little minor things. What's the word? Critiques. They're not like a deal breaker, I think. The little improvements, they could make it even better. Something that I think they could roll out. Another thing I mentioned, so there was one thing, the animation on the screen. So when you flip it from front to back, what it does is it'll flip the screen for you, mirror it, so that at least for you when you're looking at it, like what I'm doing right now, I'm holding my hand, left hand up, I look at the screen, and it looks like my hand is also this side rather than being flipped, which is what it should actually be doing. Anything that'll hold up will be reversed. No, I can't find anything. Can't find anything right now. Maybe one. No. Ah, okay. Let's try this. Holyland. See the words Holyland? So they're actually reversed. Now that's okay for you as a streamer looking at it. It's less jarring. But for the recorded footage or the live, it'd be better if that wasn't reversed like that. I'm showing you this because I'm actually using the Holyland Larking 2 for our mic and transmitter receiver today. I thought I'd just change things up a bit. I've been using the Mic Mini a lot, and at least with the setup, I'll just go over that. We've got the S20 Ultra as the live streaming phone camera, no external camera. We're using the YouTube Live app today. Very back to basics setup. Sure. Ryan, hello. We have the Holyland Larking 2 transmitter here. I don't know if you can see that. And we've got the receiver plugged into the phone. So one thing I noticed when I went to this is I was opening up the case. I said, okay, great. There's the transmitter in there. Where is the receiver? So I had to go find the little bag pouch thing. So this holds everything. Okay, so I need to find the USB-C receiver for the Ultra. So let's try and find that. So I had to hunt around in here for the receiver bits, and then I found one, but it was the Lightning. Okay, all right, cool. And do I need a little windshield thing? Nah, not today. We're inside, so we'll be okay. So there's a lot of that sort of fiddling around that you have to do with this particular model. So hopefully what companies like Holyland will do in the future with newer releases is they'll take the DJi approach. So the Mini is currently my favorite microphone system that I have, and what I like about it is the case. Let's pretend this is the Mini case. It contains everything. So you would have your two transmitters, your receiver with an adapter in there, so just one single receiver that you could use for 3.5mm, like video camera, DSLR, mirrorless. You could use that same receiver for an iPhone with a Lightning port or a device with USB-C. And it has the windshields on there, and that all fits inside the case. And so I really love that about the Mic Mini. And the battery life is up to 10 hours. So as a kit, it's still really solid. And I think prices have come down on it for the good old Mic Mini. But today I thought, hey, let's just switch things back to little Holyland Larking 2 for today. What do you think about the audio quality? That's what I'm curious about. Okay. Chicken check. Got drains V. Neat. All right, you're into gadgets. yes, I am very, very into gadgets. I'm a gadget guy. I very much love my toys, and I wish I could buy all of them, but funds permitting, basically. But I do have some little doodads here and there that I've collected over the years, so I can always go back to them. So I feel it can freshen things up a little bit, Who do we have there? Mugs, hello. How are you doing? Oh, bit of a sparky. I don't think I'm that sort of techie person. Like, I can do very basic repair, not really electrical. I'm bad with soldering iron, that sort of stuff. I've tried it in the past. Nah. I just wreck things. When it comes to gadgets, I love gadgets, as long as it's all put together. Maybe a very simple kit where you can assemble bits and bobs, that I'm okay with. Some people have a gift for that, not really me. All right, Mugs, what's that? What about you? Oh, I'm great, thank you. I'm enjoying the weather down Underland. Here in Auckland, it is summertime, so I feel for my friends who may be in the colder months right now. It's summer down here in New Zealand, and the weather is also lovely. It's really, really warm. It's been 28, 30 degrees, probably higher, but enjoy it. Went out for a walk, got the steps in. Let's see. So drains, a regular just blew in. Oh no! Ouch! Yeah. Fortunately, I have a landlord who gets onto that. They will get us a electrician to fix it for us. Anything like that. Fortunately, nothing that big. Just thinking. Yeah, some lighting. They needed fully replacement. That's also, but for the most part, this place has been pretty good to us. Excuse me. Ah, chef from Petone. Wow. I know someone from Petone. Yeah, great place. I used to go hit their way often. Oh, nice, 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 nice. I don't know their particular spot. I won't pronounce it. My Māori is awful. I'm Māori, but I don't speak it enough. I get my pronunciation pretty bad, more than not. So, what is it? 11 UV today? Oh, no. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, got to be careful out there, folks, depending where you are. If you are down underland like I am, make sure you got the lotion on. If you burn easy, especially, maybe you have to take one of those sun umbrella things. Also, cheers, guys. Oh, by the way, I want to mention that in Auckland we have a place called Franklin Road. And during this time of the year, Christmas time, all the houses on their street, they decorate with Christmas lights on the outside. And it's become quite the occasion over years and years. And I think it started beginning of the month and it goes till near the end of the month. So I plan to do a live on Wednesday. We'll see. Plans could change. So this week is going to be very much a Christmas week. Hope to do Franklin Road this week, and then Christmas in the Park is on Saturday. What I want to do is I want to fix my camera app that I've been working on for a good 2, maybe 3 weeks now. I want to be able to take photos with that camera app and for them to pop up on stream straight away. Not what I have had to do where I open up multiple apps, dig into this, dig into that to share a photo with you guys. I want to just take a photo and for it to pop up straight away using my phone. So fingers crossed we can get that working. Hopefully by Wednesday if we do Franklin Road. Pyro. Oh, okay, all right. Balsamy, yes. So that's where Franklin Road is. It's quite the occasion. I don't know if Wednesday will be the best day for it. I'm feeling Friday would be better. There'd be more people. But around this time of the year, there's usually heaps of folks checking out the lights and things. They may have performances. They usually have carol singers and maybe a couple of like street performers. So it'd be nice. And I believe they got something else on as well, a special occasion for this year. So usually what I do is I like either walk up or down. So I'll do both sides, check them out. I may have one of my flatmates join me, so we'll see. But it'll be a pretty chill one. Maybe I should take my nice camera. I don't know. Usually for low light like that, a phone's camera won't really do very well. I'd still like my app to be ready. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to use the Pocket 3 for that. I think that would be the best occasion for it, mate. Well, actually, definitely not Christmas in a park. Too many rowdy people. Yeah, you could bump into others dancing and that sort of thing. So maybe not then, but we'll see if we can borrow this for Franklin. Oh, you knew someone who lived there? Same, I knew folks who used to own a house in that area. Imagine how much they'd be worth now, being so close to the city. Back in the day, and it wasn't all that long ago, houses were well, we would say cheap. Like I've heard housing prices being about $10,000, which is ridiculous. But even back then, there was a lot of money, probably the equivalent of what we think is expensive for a house now. But yeah, when I think about that, wow, $10,000 for a house, it's it's nothing. But yeah, I've known a couple of folks who had homes there, and then they sold them, made quite a bit of money. If they sold them now, they make even more, as things happen. But yeah, that's pricing houses for you. Your own house, you don't have to worry about rent or anything like that. Where I'm living now, there are places where you can buy, but it is that whole deposit thing. You got to save up for that, have enough, and then will your bank give you alone for, 20-something years. Way back. Oh, wow, yellow buses. Yeah, I knew someone who used to work for I think, 4 versions of the bus company. So over the years, it has been sold and bought by someone else. Used to be called ARC, Auckland Regional something. I've forgotten. So there was one of them, and then it went to a different one, Kiwi Bus, NZ Bus or something, and then another company and another one. I knew someone who decided, they had worked there long enough. And but yeah, way back, yeah, it used to be called Yellow Bus Company was another name. So there's a lot of history there with the buses, and especially with the drivers always sort of fighting to get better pay. I don't know what the story is with it now, but they're probably still fighting the ongoing battle, Yeah, a little bit of history there on good old Auckland and the buses. Oh yeah, and there was a phase where they wanted to give each sort of region of Auckland an identity. So some of them were like a dark blue colour, and others were like very colourful to represent, I think, like West Auckland, and then various other. I like the idea of it, but I don't know what happened with that, because they seem to have all, what's the word, have the same look now. Zuda King, I do remember the username. How are you? He said hi. Oh, okay. Did I miss a couple of messages there? I am actually surprised that the YouTube chat is not disappearing on me, because before what would happen is it would just disappear, but it's staying there, which I need. As a live stream, you need it to be there all the time. Yes, hello. Okay, right, so we're still doing a debrief of the Pocket 3. What else can we talk about it? Let's see. The field of view. Field of view is a bit narrower than the Action 4, so this can get super, super wide. 155 degrees of field of view with this one. And then when we did the comparison, it was a little bit wider than the Pocket 3, including the wide angle on it. Yeah, in terms of this little guy, yeah, pretty happy with it. Yeah, good solid device. I'm curious about the Action 6 though. I don't know many folks who have it. What time is it for me here? It is about 10 to 4 p.m. in the Arvo afternoon on a Monday. So the Monday the 8th today, if you're watching this live, and it is, afternoon. Now usually with my other setup, it shows you everything. It shows you the temperature, shows you the time, local time, my socials and everything. But this is all low-key Mondays. Let's see. Mr. Egg, hello, how's it going? Morning to you. In your opinion, the Pocket 3 is a better camera, but just problems with mounting it. Good point. If you hold it in your hand, it means you have one hand on the camera and one on the chat phone. That is something that, I realized when I was playing around with this on that Friday stream. Because usually, the way that the wrist strap works, the way that they've got it, you gotta be careful, is it can only be mounted on this side of the Pocket 3, right? So if you wanted to wrap it around your wrist, you're holding it with your right hand. That's great, but how do I grab my chat phone? I have to switch hands this way, no strap, grab my chat phone, which I have in my right arm, and go, okay, cool, da-da-da. That's what Mr. X said, etc. So what I ended up doing was I just put my fingers through the bottom bit and then hold it this way. So that was one workaround. That way I still had access to my chat phone on the lanyard, like this, Yeah, but being my first stream using this, there were undoubtedly things you would sort of work out. What could be better? How can you do this? What works for what I'm doing? So those are all things you'd work out eventually. Let's see. Jesus or Jesus. Remember Billy T. James? Hell yeah, of course. What a legend. Comedy legend from Down Underland. Yeah, I remember he had his original first series, which was a whole bunch of skits. That's what people remember him fondly the most. And then I think he had some kind of health issue where he was out for a little bit, came back, and then his next show was more like a sitcom, I believe. And I preferred the older version. It looked like whatever the health issue was took a lot out of him too. So he wasn't quite the same after that. But yeah, it was a legend. Billy T. James. You should look him up. Some of the skits, especially where they're kind of reenacting the Europeans visiting New Zealand and meeting the New Zealand Māori for the first time. Some of those are really funny. But yeah, they're classic, won't ever get old kind of humour. So for you, Zoo the King, it is very late, almost midnight. Wow. How about that for time difference? Well, good evening. Good, I don't know. Usually say good night when you're about to go to bed, right? But yeah, thank you for joining us. Miss Egg, I prefer a stealth setup. I agree. That's what I like about using the Action 4 and the Pocket 3. So if you do what most people do with these, is they will hold the Pocket 3 like this. So they'll hold it like that. When you're holding it like that, no one really notices it. I've seen people walk through malls and go through all sorts of places with their Pocket 3s. And unless you're looking and go, oh, hey, got a Pocket 3. Then, it's pretty stealthy on its own. But of course, the way that I use these, I'm holding it up here because I prefer that angle. So you can see what's happening around me rather than just looking up business. So that's a personal preference thing, though. That's how I hold the Action 4 as well. So I have it on a selfie stick up here, like that. So Zoo, you need to go to bed. Okay, well, thank you for hanging out and for a bit of a chat. Say hi. Catch you later. Get some rest if it's late for anyone else. And it's okay, yeah. Thank you for popping in. Go now. Okay, Miss Egg. So, good light. I still prefer the Sony 3000. Absolute rock solid video. 60 FPS, solid audio, low light, need a light. Yeah. I've used the 3000, which quality was real nice. I have a 300. It's not great. I even did one day had the 3000, next day had the 300, and my 300 doesn't look as nice as the 3000. I'm not sure why. All good, Sue the King. See you later. Thanks for popping in. So, yeah, I've got it here somewhere. I could grab it. One moment, folks. Let's do like a YouTube BRB. I'll leave the audio on. Okay, all right. So, here it is. Can't see what's happening in chat right now, but I'll be right back. Hello. I'm curious what happened there during the little BRB thing, because I've noticed when watching back this type of live that it tends to go all janky from the screen off to turn it back on, like it has to restart or something. So I'm wondering if that still occurs if I just do the hide video thing and keep the audio on, or if it's kind of like the combo. So if you hide video and mute the mic, because the YouTube app gives you both options. Now, it's something, but I still prefer what, my usual setup has, Mobin or IRL Pro or basically any of the others. Okay, anyway, so here is my Sony 300. Got a case on there. That case is from Bellabooks Cloud. So they do cases or kits like this, and included the cables too. And it keeps it all in there firm. So there's screws that hold it in place. So this is, I like how this looks compared to what it normally looks like, white, This stands out less, but still, still stands out a bit too much for me, for my taste. And I like being wireless. That's a personal thing too. But yeah, I've used this a couple of times, but I prefer using something like this instead. Use RTMP, or I can use webcam mode. Got the options though. Should do a whole big comparison of all the cameras. That would actually probably do a lot better for Franklin Road. I've done that though. I've done that in the past. Okay, right. Sony Cam also has pretty good stab. Yeah, it does. That's the reason why people still like them, even now, almost 10 years later. They came out in 2016, and they're still popular because of that low light performance. What they have in here is they got some kind of rubber band technology, optical stabilization in here that beats everything else. And low light, you don't get the weird ghosting effect that you get with most action cameras like this one. The Pocket 3 has a stable, it's got a gimbal feature built into it, so the footage out of that looks real nice too. But it'd be great if DJi could get whatever is in here and then put it into here, Same form factor. Reverse engineer it or something. Put their stabilization, the optical one, and copy it, do whatever, put it into this, into the Action 7 or 8, I don't know. If they did that, that would be a big enough reason for me to want to upgrade. I like what they did with the 6. I've still not heard enough about it as a live streaming camera. The variable aperture is nice, and it appears that you can get a lot more in focus in the background, hold things up to the camera, it'll focus on that, so that I don't really like. But yeah, the ghosting is still a thing, even with the improvements they've done. I think it's the only way to beat it. Put actual optical stabilization in these. They can put them in phones. So my Ultra, it's got selfie camera, no optical stabilization. It's got the wide, ultra wide on the back, no optical, but has digital, not great. And then the normal lens, which is the one most people use, that one has optical and digital stabilization. So that's what they need for these. So whether GoPro does it, Insta360 or DJi, whoever does it, they're probably going to eventually make folks move away from these. But at least for now. And while they're still out there to buy, these will still be popular. Still be popular. Okay. Yeah, so we have, just thinking, Franklin Road. Could I, actually I could I take the Bellabooks with me, stream with the 300, then switch to a setup with the Action 4 and Pocket 3. So do like a comparison of all three. Might be a bit much. I don't have room for all those things in my bag. My little sling bag can only fit so much. Oh, actually, I found another thing to clean up my gear. I'm really quite excited about. So I'll do the BRB thing again. One moment. One momento. One moment. Sorry about the noise. Got the window open because it is very warm, very toasty. Okay, you're back. Right, so here is my sling bag. This is what I used to carry, well, everything. When I head out, my Action 4 will go in there, my tripod, my anchor battery pack, any cables I need, hand sanitizer, whatever you can think of, it goes into this little bag. Now, one issue that I've been having with my setup is there's just too many straps and things. So I'll have this on, to carry all my stuff. Then I'll have a separate phone lanyard for my phone. So that's 2 straps going across body. And then I might even have another strap for my camera, like the Fuji camera. So there's all these things sort of, around here. But I'd really like to just have one, right? Just one strap, maybe the bag. So have the bag on, that's it. So what I've done is I've got one of these little wrist lanyard things. Just like the other one, which is crossbody. This one's just for your wrist. And I bought these as a pack on good old Temu. So what I can do is I can attach my phone to this, right? iPhone's on the chart. So pretend my phone is attached to this little bit, which is Peak Design quick release. So you attach your phone in there. My Ultra has one. And then we've got this little cord to stop it from hitting the ground. So we've got that bit. So I have the phone attached to that. So we'll remove the lanyard, we just have the bag, sling bag, and all I need is somewhere for my phone to go. So I can just quickly grab it, have a look, see what's happening in mobile chat or whatever, and then put it back into the little pouch. So that's what I'm looking for. So what that does, just makes things a little cleaner when I'm walking around. So see this way, one strap here, and then the phone goes onto this little bit. If I happen to drop my phone, it's still short enough that it won't hit the ground unless I'm seated or whatever. But yeah, I just need a pocket or something to go on the outside of my bag. I can just slip the phone into, and then when I need to check it, grab it, have a look, bam, bam, bam. What do you think? Yeah. So that has been one of my little missions, to try and clean up what's happening cross body, all my stuff. So at certain points I might have a chest mount here, then I have the bag on, and then I'll have the phone lanyard and then a camera strap. I had that sort of set up when I was in Seoul, and there was just way too many things here. Just trying to be more minimalist with it, if you get what I mean. Okay, so I'm currently on a mission to try and find a phone holster that will fit into here. So that's on one side of the Peak Design bag. It is smallest 3 inches here. So we need something to go through there, and then you've got your phone holster here. And that way, when I don't need my phone, I can just drop it in. When I do need it, quickly grab it. I thought about having a kind of MagSafe thing, but I was playing around with it in a store today, and they're just too fickle. You got to be real careful. You got to slide it in on the, just right, that kind of thing. Otherwise, it won't grip. Whereas a little pocket on the outside would just be perfect. Cool. All right. So we jumped around the topics a little bit today. That's kind of what we do. So yeah, one little improvement with the setup there. I just need to find that little phone holster, baggy thing, whatever they're called, pouch. Yeah, but that would look a lot cleaner. And also one problem about with the lanyard, when I have it around here, is it's often flopping around all over the place, and I have to kind of try and stuff it into a pocket. So having the pocket on the outside of the bag here is just going to fix that whole flopping business. Okay. Who is that? Tuxie. Kia ora, kia ora. Welcome to this live. Welcome everyone. Hope you're having a good one on this Monday afternoon. Yeah, just a chill stream. Back to basics, using the setup here to discuss some gear, IRL live streaming stuff. And this bad boy in particular, which was the Pocket 3 we used in a live stream just the other day. Where am I based, Tuxie? I am based in Auckland. Yeah, good old Auckland. How about yourself? Are you a Kiwi? Kia ora, kia ora. Pocket 3. Yeah, these are really popular. Also, pricey. So, if it's within your budget, and you're looking to... Oh, nice. Nice. Got quite a few Kiwi folks here. Are we all on holiday? Are you guys on your leave? What are you going to get up to over Christmas? I'm very curious. I was having a chat to my local cafe today, and I say, "Oh, when you guys are away, you guys gonna go on leave at all?" They said, "Oh yeah, a couple of days before Christmas." Oh, cool. When you back? I need my coffee. Here you go, somebody for my coffee, guys. Streams are impossible without my pre-stream coffee. For example, got our coffee here. Cheers, guys. Oh, you've been crooked? No. Stomach bug. Oh, they're the worst. Well, hopefully you get well soon. Glad I could entertain you, hopefully, while you're quick. Yeah, take all the things, whatever it takes. What usually does it for a stomach bug? I don't think there is, You just gotta wait it out, and it just gets better. Oh no. Well, they're the worst ones that kill your appetite. Although I've lost quite a bit of weight when I've had them. Like overnight, I've lost 5 kgs. Like, oh, sweet. I need this more often. Hey, yeah, shot. Enjoy your Christmas as well. Hopefully the stomach bug's a quick one. Okay, all right, so let's see, footage. Well, I'll try and get back on topic with the Pocket 3 as a live streaming camera. Quality looks nice. I wish it was a little more sturdy. So these little personal little critiques I have. There is the movement when it goes front, back. I think they could be a little smoother. The animation when you go front, back, it's a bit jarring when it sort of goes from front to back, and then it tries to mirror the image. So it's like bam. So I think they could improve that. It'd be a little minor update just to make things even better than what it already is. These are little cosmetic improvements, I think. Then I think the audio sounded pretty good, like better than my mic mini connected to the Action 4. It just sounded more low end. Maybe, yeah, I don't think I did anything with the audio settings. So if I wanted to replicate it, I'd have to check out what I've done in the Action 4. So maybe I've got either low cut filter on or off, something like that. But yeah, I quite like the audio out of the Pocket 3. There was a bit of a difference here. What else? What else? Actually, just bring up that live here. I won't be able to show you, but I'm just going to skip around a bit and then see if I notice anything. So that live is called the DJi Pocket 3 for IRL live streaming, ? First impressions, if you did want to check out that live. And that's why I used the Pocket 3. Whoa, Jesus. Let's mute the audio. Okay, all right, muting the audio. Okay, just going to skip around a bit. Yeah, it's quite nice, that blue background look. I just wish it wasn't all the time. personal preference. I suppose as an IRL live streamer, it has the benefit of obscuring people's faces. So only you are in focus. And you don't really have to worry so much about other people's privacy. Not that you do that as an IRL live streamer. But, when you're out and about in the streets, walking, talking, that kind of thing, then, can't really be helped so much. Yeah, it's quite a soft look in the background. Curvy corners, so it does appear to be doing some warpiness, fishying. I wish, I think they would have been able to figure that out, because you don't really get it with the Action 4 until you start going into the super wide look, the 155 mil. If I do standard, no, not standard E-warp, the one wider than that, horizon balancing, not standard E-warp, different mode. So yeah, there's a combination of modes where it'll make your camera look wider. If you do that, then it doesn't happen until you're at that higher end. For me, the Action for standard E-warp horizon balancing has a nice wide look, but also doesn't start to do this kind of thing with poles and stuff in the background. It does have straight edges, So jump ahead a bit. Yeah, overall, got a real nice look. I think the color science, there's a difference of that as well. Things look quite muted, and you only really have one option. So with the color, there is normal, and if you set auto white balance, it just does everything for you. But yeah, it's got a pleasing look, I think, with just those two settings. Jump ahead some more. Yeah, it's quite sharp. Looks good. I have been working on the disconnect protection, made some improvements. Something I noticed during that live is the bitrate, which you can see at the top and in the middle of the screen, it would be grey, which is everything is fine, then yellow if you're in low bitrate, and red if you had no internet. But it seemed to stay in yellow even when the bitrate was higher than 1000. Now, what I've changed, so fundamentally there's some code there that you need it to set those modes. But the color, so the color now of that text is only affected by the bitrate rather than all the other things. So there's other things there that you still need. They take into account drops, round trip time, all that sort of stuff. So I've pulled, 1 second guys, 1 second. Yeah. Give it a couple of seconds, a little bit more, as usually it takes after I've come back from the YouTube BRB mode for the audio to adjust and everything. We should be good now. Where was I? What was I talking about? I forgot. But, oh yeah, streamer bot disconnect protection. So I pulled the color changes away from the other code so that the text is only going to change in response to the bitrate, okay, rather than all the other stuff. So next time we do a live, which will be Wednesday, right, for Franklin Road, we will we'll have that bitrate, what they call it, text, adjust appropriately. So it'll be grey, above 1000, between that middle ground, yellow, and then red, meaning that bitrate is, well, we're disconnected. Oh, I have changed up my overlays. We've got a sort of Christmas theme now, so those colors will be different. I think they're all variations of yellow. Because rather than the black that you see, I've changed it to a red color, which I've done in previous Christmas streams. Bomatsu. Hello. Hey, bro. You've been watching the content for a bit now. Nice. Hey, thanks for watching. Enjoy the Moment app as it's helped you find alternative ways to stream instead of investing a lot of money in a ballot box. Keep up the good mahi. Hey, thank you so much. Yes, if you got an iPhone, it's a no-brainer. Or even if let's say you got Android and you want to dig into using Moped, you could just buy an older iPhone. Because I'm doing things on my iPhone 11. Prices come down a lot with that model. If you got a decent Android phone and older iPhone, you'd be able to play around with Moped, because it is the strongest mobile app for IRL that's out there at the moment. The amount of things they're doing for this is so cool. I was in Eric, who is the main guy behind Moped, his live stream, and he added in the ability to raid. So there is a chat command now. The Moped chat command, I think the full name of it is !Moped Twitch raid and the username. So what you can do is you can add an alias to shorten that full chat command. Chat commands have to be enabled and you have to be signed into your Twitch for it to work. But you can also add a predefined message so that, let's say you set up a couple of friends that you know, people who stream around the same time as you, that you can raid to. So you set up the predefined messages. I've got a couple in there already. And then you can raid with Moped. That was not a thing up until, I think, yesterday. I'm going to be trying it out next time. So I had Streamable handle raids for me. My command was !R for raid. But I've switched it out for the Moped one. We'll see how well that works. But yeah, there's no ability yet to do like an unraid or search for someone to raid. It's primarily just keep things simple. Have a list of people that you already have raided to, so you're not going to have a problem with the raid being denied or not enough viewers, that sort of thing. So you just set some names up in there, and you can just press the predefined message or type in the chat command for that other channel. Okay, but yeah, it's things like that, little improvements here and there that I love about good old Moped. Let's see, keep a note of that. Yes, so it's available in the latest test flight version of Moped. You will need to be on the beta testing program for it. Doesn't cost anything, and in the beta testing, features are in the works, so might not work exactly like you would hopefully want them to be, or this or that. You become a tester for the app, but yeah, a lot of the things that they roll out solid. Don't need to do much. Let's see. So Bomatsu, is there a way to check where dead zones are in Auckland for data, or do I have to roam around and test it that way? I've had to do it the hard way. I don't know if there is a way of knowing where dead zones are. Yeah, I'm not sure. There probably is. I've done it the hard way, and that's where you kind of get an idea of areas that are good and bad. In the city, most places are fine. It's only when you go into like a car park where you'll suddenly drop. But, that's expected. Yeah. Certain indoor places, thick concrete walls, that's where you'll have problems. Out and about, like what I do, fine. Yeah, let's see. Because the city has 4G and 5G. I know. So if you were to go to the domain, so I've found the connection there can be iffy, especially the winter gardens. It's a good test. So I go there to test the connection and this and that. But yeah, over the years I've visited there, it's always had problems where I've had one or two connections. Maybe if I had a third with a different provider, I might do better. But yeah, that is one place for sure. And it's likely there'll be others. Hopefully it helps. We'll have to roam out just, yeah. In the city, like CBD, fine. Good times. Also, it can vary depending on how many people are out in a given area. So if there are lots of people, lots of Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, then you're bound to get smashed for your connection. I need to avoid the domain and all the car parks. Although I'm wanting to live stream from Christmas in the Park. I've done it before, and it was, despite how many people there, I think thousands and thousands of people, my last live did okay, did all right, but we're gonna give it another go. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's where they hold Christmas in the Park. Good old domain. It'll be good. Car parks. Well, car parks are okay. It's just elevators. When you go into the elevator, you got a concrete shaft, you got metal walls, all that sort of stuff. So that's where I found it'll start to disconnect, losing connection, that sort of thing. Wouldn't it be more laggy with more people in one area? Yes. Yep, that is indeed the case. More people, then your signal will struggle. Because what happens is the cell phone towers in the area, they're going to bottleneck with all those people on their phones, maybe on Instagram, TikTok, that sort of thing, checking the emails. So the more people there are in that area, the more your signal's going to struggle. So that's why conventions and big events, you can have connectivity problems. So it's probably better to have something like a ballot box. Ballot box tends to do better. So I don't know what it is. Maybe your phone's just doing too many things. You know, it's running the mail app in the background. It's running all this other stuff. So when you're in an environment like that, that's probably where it might struggle. Whereas a ballot box, it is just a very one-purpose device, you know. This is the Orange Pi 5 Plus. So its purpose is to live stream. That's it. That's all we've got on here. So that's probably why it does a little bit better. And you can do things like connect the Action 4 to this by webcam mode. That eliminates another wireless connection. So things like that. Yeah, maybe I might have to use this for Christmas in the Park, or I don't know. Think about it. Do you want to break down the ballot box? I see it as a portable modem, but I could be wrong. Do I want to break down the ballot box? Well, this is a mini computer. That's the best way to think of it. So this is basically like my Windows computer, but very small and limited when it comes to power, you know, because look how small it is. So you've got a processor in here, you've got a HDMI capture card. If I was plug in to one of these ports, so I've got a HDMI signal going into it. The modems you would plug into this, whether it be through one of these Ethernet ports, you know, one of these, or I know via USB. You've got little USB Wi-Fi adapters. Yeah, like a little mini computer. Simon, hey, how's it going? How'd the experiment go? Which one? You mean between the Pocket 3 and the Action 4? I thought that was a fun test to do. Yeah, here's the Pocket 3 in here, and here's the Action 4, which I've been using for good 6 to 8 months or so. Oh yeah, okay. This is mine. So I'm a little biased. I've been using this for a while. Very happy with it. Good price. So for the price of one of these, depending on if you can find a special, you could probably buy 2 or 3 of these for one of these. But there's something about this that tops the 4. Low light performance, got a gimbal, so it's going to do better in low light. Not going to have the ghosting that you get with the Action 4. It's tiny, They're very cute. The picture quality looks real nice. So if you're a big fan of the blurry background effect, then this will do that. You know, and if you hold things up to it, it'll focus in on that thing. Whereas the Action 4, it doesn't have any like focusing at all. So there are pros and cons to either or. So see the difference here? Action 4 and Pocket, yeah. How was the connection compared to the Action 4? Was it similar? I would say so. I mean, if you did want to check out the live where I did the comparison, it's called DJi Pocket 3 for IRL live streaming, first impressions, and then you could just jump around and have a look at it. The connectivity, I think for a good 2 hour, 46 minute stream, there were maybe a few places which seemed to glitch a bit. But glitching is something that I'm kind of used to. So what I'll do is I'll just do like a reset. The one that seems to be working when you do a RTMP wireless video from, let's say, the Action 4 or Pocket 3 into Moblin, you use a command to stop streaming in Moblin, wait a couple of seconds, and then start streaming again. And then that fixes any sort of weird stuttering or jerkiness that's happening with the video feed. But it appears to be an RTMP thing in general, not just like with the Action 4 or with the Pocket 3. So ideally, what could happen is these guys, like DJi, could come out with a version of these that support SRT, which is smaller and better than RTMP to send to whatever else, you know. That'll be perfect, but I don't know. Don't see that happening. Or there was actually another technology that I heard about the other day that is an alternative to SRT. Was it similar? I see. That's the 2 hour mark. Yeah, so there was some glitching around there where I stopped. I used the command, so Moblin command, which was ! Moblin stream stop. So that stops the stream in Moblin. And then you do another one, Moblin stream start, to start it up again. It's the equivalent of pressing the go live and the end button in the app. So let's say your phone is in your bag with fans or whatever, you don't have access to it, you're using Stream Buddy or whatever to control Moblin, you would use that combo of commands. And that seemed to work better than just pressing the buttons. I think it's doing more than the usual just start, stop streaming button. So it rejigs things. When I've pressed the buttons before, I've had to like fully swipe out, go flight mode on, off, do various other things in order for it to rejig what is happening with the RTMP, the video and whatnot, you know. So that seems to be a good fix. And your setup, when you stop streaming, if you've got loop SRT or no alps, whatever, it'll go to BRB just for a little moment, and then you just come back and then should be fixed. But yeah, for that good 2 hour 46 minute stream, I think it held up pretty good, you know, walking around the city and whatnot, you know. Would you still prefer the Action 4 over the Pocket? So I've mentioned it a couple of times. So one thing is I feel like I can be a bit rougher with this. So as is, I could throw this into my bag and I'll be okay with it like that. I'd be a little concerned about the lens, not getting it scratched or whatever, but not so much, you know. So I could just throw it in my bag, no problem. But with this, considering it's not mine as well, you got this little back thing. So you want to have this in here, and you got to be very careful about how you place it into the bag. So then it just gives you enough room, but it'll keep it all snug. So make sure that's in there properly. Zip it up. So there's that you have to consider. Also, the way they've made this, if you've got it on a little tripod feet and the battery handle, maybe just the normal handle and everything, so you're walking around with it like that, and then you want to put it in here, you've got to disassemble it or put it in a bag. Then if you want to take it out again, you got to take all the parts out, reassemble it. So yeah, so there's little things like that. Whereas this, quick and easy, bam. So I can just throw this in my bag, have my tripod on the top, so it usually sticks out here. Grab the tripod, quickly reattach it on the way, and if I need to put it away, take this off, throw that in there, tripod on top. So it's real quick to get up and going, put it all away, that sort of thing. The form factor of the Pocket 3 or the Action 4. So I like this form factor because it's thin when you attach it, let's say, onto your chest, or if you have it up here, compared to, let's say, the Sony, which I feel like I'm like Predator. Predator Badlands, like. Or Jack Sparrow, got a parrot on my shoulder. Or if you have it here, it sticks out and just looks weird. But in terms of stabilization, this still can't be beat by anything its size, Low light performance does way better than the Action 4. So I'm hoping they're going to put whatever's in here into a future version of this. Yeah. Also, this has everything in focus, which I quite like. Be able to see the background. If you're not familiar with Auckland, where I do my photo walks and whatnot, then you can see what it's like here. Whereas the Pocket 3, if you've got the camera on you, you're in focus, everything else is slightly blurry, so you can't quite see what's happening back there. Unless you turn it away from yourself, then it'll refocus on everything. I think the the Action 6 has everything mostly in focus, but if you hold something up to it, then it refocuses. So I prefer that sort of look. And also the ability to have that, blurry background. So perhaps if they had a minimum aperture setting, so if you want everything to be in focus, change it to, let's say, f4 or whatever. Or if you want that soft background, then you can just change it to, I think it's f2. Let's see, if you charge your Action 4 while it's live, does it? No, it doesn't. Yeah, so I do that often. I'll be walking around and I can get about 90 minutes, 2 hours, something like that, of live streaming time with this before I need to charge. So what I'll do is I'll start thinking, wait, how much battery do I have left? I'll do a tap of the screen, I'll say 30%. If I'm not doing anything at that moment, then I can go, oh, okay, I'll just plug in, and I have the door on the side exposed. I'll just plug in a USB-C cable, doesn't do anything with the stream, doesn't disconnect, it stays running, and it takes about 10-20 minutes to charge this to 100%, depending on your battery bank. So your battery bank has to supply, I think it is 30 watts of fast charging, and then it'll do a real fast charge. So I have, with my bank, it supports 18, 45, and 100 watts. So if I use any of the USB-C charging ports, it's going to charge this up pretty fast. With the Pocket 3, I think it requires a higher fast charging port, which I would need to use the 100 watt to do that. But yeah, the fact that you can do that without it cutting the audio or the video is really nice, because I did wonder that. But yeah, I've done, let's see, 8-hour streams. That was when I was in Seoul, where I needed to plug in. And often, my streams are usually about 2 to 4 hours. And sometimes I don't want to have, I've got like a battery grip which I can have this plugged into and keep it charged for the entire time. But I only do that for like really long streams if I know it's going to be a really long one. Otherwise, I'll just have this on a tripod and then plug in when I need to. So Pocket 3 can, well, I forget exactly what charging port or what you need for fast charging on the Pocket 3, but it was higher than the Action 4. But yeah, actually, it depends on your battery bank too. So not all battery banks are equal. You know, this one has it built in where it will, it won't overcharge and it won't undercharge it. You know, it monitors things like that. So you can't always just plug in what a battery bank says 100 watts and think that your device will be okay. So that's where you want to be careful about that and what battery bank you have. But yeah, my one, I can plug anything into any of those ports and it'll be okay. Hey, Mitmet, sure to you. So, do you have a spare battery for the Action 4? No, I do not. I just have the Action 4, just what came with the standard kit. Nice to have you here, Midmat. Thank you for joining us. Yep, I just, this is it. Yeah, I just got the default one. Yeah, I don't think I've had any overheating issues with the Action 4 where you'd need to take the battery out. And that's even when I was, well, here, quite a cool country, as you guys may not know. And when I was in Seoul during summer, where it was often 30-something plus degrees. Too much for this Kiwi. Now my phones, they did overheat, but I don't recall the Action 4 ever getting that way. Yeah, it is really, really fast. So this one for sure, I've only used the Pocket 3 one time. So I didn't need to plug in. I did plug in. Yeah, I did plug in. Just recalling. So for that Friday stream, I had the battery handle and the Pocket 3. The battery handle died first. It was at 0%. And then the Pocket 3, I forget where that was. I plugged in. I think it'll start charging the Pocket 3 first from memory, and then it'll charge the battery handle after. So the Pocket 3 went up faster. Battery handle was 1% and stayed that way. So I guess it didn't fully charge the Pocket 3 first, but that's what I would expect to have happened. But it was charged enough in that I was fine with what I had charged. Amazing thing realizes the screen goes black to save battery. You mean, sorry, what was that for? The Pocket or the Action 4? So the Pocket stayed on. I don't think it needed to turn off the screen. Although, yeah, I don't think I needed the screen to be on. Like, I don't usually have the screen on when I use the Action 4. I have it off just to save the battery. So neither the front or the back screen's on when I live, and I don't have a little LED on either. I turn that off. And it's only if I need to check the battery, well, I'll tap the front screen to see what the battery meter says, 30%, whatever, and I go, oh, okay, plug in. That's it. So I'm guessing about composition, or I'm checking my phone moment to see if I've got it right. But this is wide enough, I don't generally need to. As long as it's pointed in the, in the general direction. Let's see. Right, Simon, which house not take attention on it as yes, yeah. So there's that. I think that's what I like about using the Action 4 in that way. So no screen on, no little light on, that's all off. I have noticed in webcam mode, I think the screen stays on and it has that green light. So you don't have the option to turn them off in USB webcam mode, but RTMP you can. So maybe there's a setting for that. I've only done webcam mode a couple of times. Yeah. So overall, first impression's pretty good. Really like the look of it. And if we do the a Wednesday stream, Franklin Road, low light conditions, then you'll be able to see what it looks like. So this week will be a very Christmassy week, Franklin Road, and Christmas in the park. So if you join me for those two, it should be a lot of fun. Right, I think that's it for our little debrief today, talking about the Pocket 3, the action for my setup here. So I just need a little thing to go on the outside I can slip my phone into. So this, I'm really proud of this idea. It may not seem like much, but I am. Right. I think USB webcam mode. If you pull down the settings menu, it turns the screen off after a few seconds. I haven't tested. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. I would have to look into that. Yeah, maybe it only remembers whatever, like it's a per mode thing. So even though I had it set to screen off for RTMP, it has different settings when you have it connected via webcam USB mode, and it'll just associate one or the other. I don't know. Or maybe it remembers what you did last time. So if you're using webcam mode next time, if you're using webcam mode, the screens will be off. You'll have a look at the stream. Okay, thank you, Simon. Keen to see results. Nice, yeah. So have a look, jump around, see what you think of it. So it's sort of a 2-3-fold thing. We were doing multiple tests. So one was on my camera app, total fail on that front. Still working on it. Hopefully get that fixed soon. Then we had the Pocket 3, what it was like to use in real world tests. So, just get an idea of the field of view, what it's doing for focusing, face tracking, all that good stuff. Got an idea, because in that stream, I felt like as if the face tracking and the product showcase modes, they were kind of fighting each other. Now, there was a setting that I noticed. I think if you turn that off, maybe they won't do that. Maybe. So if next time I can play with this, then I'll give it a go. Kind of want the best of both worlds, Update, Bruce. Hey, you're welcome. Field of view, focusing, face tracking. We haven't done low light test. I was too hungry to wait for it to get dark. That'll come. Low light test eventually. Let's see, what else? Glitching. So do you notice any glitching? Is it doing any... someone mentioned it with their Pocket 3. It would... I think it was... The face tracking wasn't smooth. There was something weird about it when they used it. So we'll look at that a bit further. So for me, at least, I think the settings seem to be good with the face tracking. It's just whenever you do hold something up to the camera, where it's kind of trying to focus on you, but also focus on the thing as well. So it's going, wait, I can't see you, but it's also trying to focus on the thing you're holding up. Yeah. Actually, try and change that setting while we're at it. Carefully get this out, power it on. Okay, and then swipe down, get to the settings. So there is FT selfie on and off. Now I had it on, but I've turned it off. Okay, swipe back up, and then I'm going to switch it back around to me. So I did that sort of mirror flip thing. I'm going to try and hold something up to it. Oh, it's not on me. Face track, start, so auto detect. Oh, okay. No, it's not face tracking. So do you have to have that on? camera automatically follow the face closest to the camera of center of the camera view. Okay. I don't have the green box. Doesn't work when I'm in RTMP mode. Really? Huh. It was working. Maybe we've got to have that on. So swipe down from the top and we set it to FT selfie on. Swipe back up. Now try face auto detect on. Wait a second. What's going on here? We'll try the double tap to recenter. Oh, what's going on here? Exit. Turn it off. FT selfie off. Okay, I'll have a play around with it. Start. Am I too close? It's not face tracking at all now. Okay, well, tell you what. I will turn this off for now. So I think I actually have to go live, Zoom open to my computer. Otherwise, it's just going to turn it off. So I have to play around with it some more offline. And then we'll see if we can figure out a mode that works. Face tracking, RTMP, and also product showcase. So you hold something up, it'll focus on it without trying to find me, which is what we're having the other day. You'll give it a try. Okay, nice one. Go do all the extensive testing, right? Okay, thank you, son. All right, we'll switch this guy off. Very strange. There you go. Pocket 3. Yeah, if you watch the live, you can see that it is face tracking. It's face tracking via RTMP, and product showcase mode was enabled. Check out the settings if you have a Pocket 3. If you want to try those settings, and then see how it goes. But yeah, the only critique I had with it the other day was that fighting. I was trying to face track me, but also focus on something I was holding up. So like this, see how it's refocus? I was trying to do both. So I'd hold something up and then the camera was hunting to find me. So whatever combination it takes for that, I think that's the key setup for the Pocket 3. Okay, all right, cool. So that's us for today's IRL debrief. Thank you guys for joining me. Matt, Simon, others. Who else do we have in here? See how far back this goes. Okay, so I have to swipe through the chat here. Bomatsu, and then all my Kiwi peeps. Tupsy, Zoo the Key, Mr. Egg, Jesus, or Jesus. Jesus was in here, guys. Mugs, Drains. Yeah, everybody. So many folks popped into chat. Beer the Conqueror. Lysama, yeah, I don't know how to say your username. Isama, yeah, thank you, Ryan. I think that's everyone. If I missed your name, thank you. All right, that is us. So back to basics. Low-key live stream, just using the YouTube Live app. Just real quick, easy to do it that way. And then with the other streams, Friday in particular, that's where we do the fancy one with all the bells and whistles. So if you'll join me for that Fridays, and then just as a little reminder, Wednesday maybe we'll have the Franklin Road Christmas lights stream. So low light stream. Friday regular stream. Saturday is Christmas in the Park, so we might have 3 streams this week. 2 of them low light. And what combo of gear we'll use, don't know, not sure yet. but I have the Action 4 for sure. Might be able to take Pocket 3 out, permitting, and could even use the Bella box with the Sony 300, perhaps. Maybe a combination of all of the above. Yeah. Okay, right. Catch you later, guys. See you in the next one.